What's up, guys? Wanted to jump on and do a live. I'm taking $5 live questions. Also, reach out for a one-on-one reading. What else can I say? Check out all my info on the website, runinguntarot.com. Check out the YouTube. Check out the Facebook. Check out the TikTok. Doing big things. All right, guys. I appreciate your viewership. Appreciate all the likes, shares, follows, subscribes, all that good stuff. Also available just for, quote unquote spiritual advice, regardless of the tarot. So, but I tend to like to work with the tarot, at least at this point in my social media presence. So, hope you guys are doing well. What else can I say? Just back from Phoenix, actually New Mexico. Was at a writer's retreat. The girlfriend was doing a writing retreat, so I was there enjoying the scenic route and all that stuff. Let's see, what else can we say? What else can we talk about? And that's pretty much it. I got a nice little tan. So, yeah. Let's jump into the cards. Let's jump into the daily messages while we wait for the room to fill up. If anyone wants to join. Just trying to build the following on the Instagram. And then hopefully segue that to the TikTok as well. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light. Highest possible messages at this time. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light. Highest possible messages at this time. Let's see what wants to come out for you. I want to talk a little bit about the kind of, expression of the soul through personhood. Because at one point or another, we have to realize that we're all kind of either running on unconscious conditioning and programming, and or aware, becoming more and more self-aware, and or are at the level of selecting your approach in life. I'm not sure if that's just something that happens when you reach a level of maturity or adulthood. For me, that's my own kind of personal journey and experience, a self-selecting process by which to express, source through the human form. So if you want to have those kinds of discussions, we could discuss that as well. I find that, the process of being a human is one of, kind of having a couple of plates spinning in the air in regards to, if you're thinking about the future or what's to come, there's a certain amount of trust and faith that needs to be bestowed. There's a certain amount of trust and grace that needs to occur. If you're dealing with, the mind, the serpent mind, as Muji speaks about, that's another channel in which to try to understand human form and human condition, right? The fact that, more and more people are being turned on to the fact that, we're not our thoughts and we're not our feelings. We're the awareness, we're the presence of it. Likewise, we are experiencing, this human reality and existence temporarily. But I find that, all things spirituality and philosophically are kind of begging the question, how to best live life. Certainly life will show you by throwing, what it throws at you. I think one level of awareness or channel of awareness is recognizing that people kind of represent or hold a certain energy. We think that it's about something surface level, but it's really kind of truly more so in regard to what that energy represents. So if you're dealing with people that are not communicative, maybe they represent your fears of the unknown, in which case there's a lesson to be learned and integrated through your experience. Because if you can be self-aware enough to know that you are the universe or absolute source, that which can't be perceived, looking through the mask or condition of personhood and being a person, then when you trip up and start to kind of have fear of the absolute or the unknown, you're able to kind of realize and understand that it's not what you really are that fears the unknown, it's the human condition that fears the unknown. So you could kind of start to kind of fold that understanding and that level of awareness into the mix of your personhood. Hence why we all have different levels of awareness and different stages of growth and development and learning. And I think that that's how we start to kind of influence the course and chart the trajectory of our lives, to the capacity that to be a human being has a certain functionality or structure to exist within. And maybe, the lens in and of itself by which you're kind of experiencing personhood wants to try to optimize that condition. That too can fall into the trap of not being enough, or never kind of settling into some semblance of inner peace, things of that nature. So there's a lot of levels of awareness to kind of operate with. So at times it could seem like a never-ending journey, but surely I feel as though maybe it depends on who's interpreting the experience, right? Some people want to chalk it up to just fun and play, or you could give it all a deeper level of meaning. I think at the heart of it, a lot of it is about balancing and kind of playing things by ear. So with that being said, let's jump into the tarot, and let's see what wants to come out for us. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages at this time. Let's see. Okay, we got the Four of Pentacles in the upright here. This is about holding on to something physical. Pentacles are finances and resources. The Four is a sense of stability here. So I could read this as holding on too tightly, to the point of not being available to receive more. Typically, again, when you're kind of looking through the lens of personhood, our conditioning limits and inhibits us. So sometimes we have to go through a death and rebirth process and start to recondition ourselves to not be limited, especially in regards to resources and abundance, even redefining what it means to be abundant. Abundance and being abundant isn't necessarily just having, a certain amount of zeros in your bank account. Abundance is self-generated. The ideology and the philosophical understanding of what value is something that could definitely be deconstructed. Okay, so for some, the most valuable thing is inner zen or inner peace or an inner knowing of what this experience actually is of reality. But the surface level is required as well. So if we are speaking at a surface level, This is the process of trusting your path and realizing that, hey, look, if your inner compass and guidance system is pointed to true north, then yeah, stick to your guns and stick to the system and keep on moving towards your ultimate goals in regards to finances and resources. A little self-awareness and self-inquiry always helps in regards to letting go that which does not serve you, creating more space and room for more abundance. Okay, so let's see what else wants to kind of color in this Four of Pentacles in the upright. The Knight of Wands in reverse speaks to a healthy, positive expression of energy. It's all energy at the end of the day. This is like my yoga and workout card, essentially. But again, that's just a surface level interpretation. There are many different subtler kind of channels to work with certain energies. Okay, I think a big kind of picture outlook of it is understanding that at the end of the day, anything phenomenal is energy. Okay, and that means that it can be kind of manipulated here. So this person is holding this pentacle in an interesting way. I think that there's a lot of subtlety that can be derived. It's almost as if he's wanting to kind of mold it in some way, like pottery comes to mind, like clay pottery comes to mind. He's working some sort of maneuvering with his arms and his hands here. So this is a very dynamic actual representation here, especially mixed with the Knight of Wands in reverse. How are you manipulating resources as a function of systematic, what's coming in versus what's coming out? How do I clean up and refine the mechanism of resources in versus resources out, or energy in, energy expressed? Some believe that, to be human is to, at a certain level, become self-aware enough to be able to transmute any and all type of energy. Fear can be transmuted into love. Anxiety can be transmuted into trust or faith. Sadness can be transmuted into happiness. The practical physical aspect of the Pentacles says that this needs to be kind of hardwired and programmed, again, if we're speaking to a very subtle level, into the software itself, which is your thinking and your mind and your conditioning. And at times there will be more surface level means of expression, hence the working out and the kind of yogi approach. Just knowing and understanding the different frequencies and channels and levels. Four of Swords is always my meditation and internal reflection energy. You could see here, this is a knight after the battle. They would rest on their coffin and reflect and show gratitude to Grace for surviving another outing, which in any of them could have been their last. This is a need to show gratitude for all of the grace that you're surrounded by and with. One of the quickest ways to shout out Joe Dispenza to tap into abundance is to tap into gratitude and thankfulness. That is a high frequency channel that the kind of radio antenna of our mind and our heart, for that matter, is able to tune into and tap into instantaneously. So this kind of begs the understanding that all forms of poverty is merely your antenna, having been conditioned into this kind of state of lack. Hence why they call it poverty consciousness. Another interesting thing to note here is outside of this church is the Five of Pentacles. Inside of this church is the Four of Swords. The Five of Pentacles is known as poverty consciousness. Okay, the Four of Pentacles is just under the Five of Pentacles. So this is a child of poverty consciousness, holding on too tightly to that which you've even outgrown. Okay. What else can I say here? By the way, taking $5 questions for anyone in the chat room. What's up? I believe it's Carly Renee. I see you. Appreciate all your viewership and support, as well as your comments. Let's look to them at this time. Let's see. Yes, potential is always there to be unlocked. Yes. Energy is transfer. A song about this last night. I'm going to have to share with you. Yes, of course. I would love to listen to music. I play guitar myself. Thank you. I just read the comment that said that I'm a blessing and that it's beautiful to have met me. Likewise, I feel the same. Namaste. Yeah, of course, it's my honor and privilege to quote unquote get deep or talk about certain things that don't really have a dialogue or conversation behind it. It's tricky when we're talking about spirituality because in order to step into that arena, you have to collapse into personhood. But there is a beautiful thing that can be expressed through personhood. Some of our higher attributes and virtues, of love and happiness and gratitude. If you're at that realm, if you're in those realms and at that, those rungs of your expression of personhood, then you're my kind of person. I feel as though, to some extent, there are moments and pockets by which you bestow love and grace, not only to yourself but to others. Sometimes it can be kind of tricky when that becomes, your self-imposed job to kind of save the world. That's another conversation in and of itself. But for me, everything kind of boils down to, following your heart. And, I don't just say that just to say that. I say that as an actual kind of meditative practice, putting your conscious awareness and your mind's eye on your heart space, and giving energy. Because remember, where your attention goes, energy flows. So if your mantra or if your mind's eye is on your heart, then you better believe you're going to be switched into that particular channel, which is going to lead you to particular people, places, and things. Following your bliss or following your happiness is another channel. But at the end of the day, all the pieces have to go back in the box, and the game has to be put away. So again, we're talking about, waking up from duality, and yet still being in the world, but not of the world. Okay. So there's a lot of irons in the fire, but grace has it so that we can kind of continuously play and jump in and out of this dynamic. Let's see. Yeah, hopefully we could collab. I'm Peter Valadez on Bandcamp. If you want to check out some of my music. Yes. Let's circle back to the tarot. The King of Swords is out here. This is about knowing what you want, again, on the surface level, and also about confidence. But at a deeper level, this is about, blooming and blossoming into the butterfly here. The sword represents intellect and communication. The king is mastery of intellect and communication. So understanding that the mind will tempt you and will nag and annoy you and will try to siphon energy away from you, just like any other field of energy or field of consciousness. It can only exist off of your attention, off of your consciousness, meaning the mind needs you, but you don't need the mind. So this is an interesting kind of metaphor for showing mastery over the mind, and that comes from understanding that you are not the mind. The mind is a tool, just like a hammer. Unfortunately, to be human is to be indoctrinated and hypnotized into personhood. But again, grace would have it that a part of the human journey as well is freedom from that and enlightenment from that state of being. At which point you could actually start to employ the tool of the mind and not let it harass you as much, essentially, or at all. I love seeing the King of Swords here in the upright, because this is, shades of the High Priestess. Knowing that if I do have to, or, if I get to express myself, through, the human condition, then at least let me have, this level of mastery over it. Which has been kind of hard fought and hard earned here. It's rare that people are just kind of born into this state of grace and position. Yes. So let's see what else wants to come out here. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages. Guys, feel free to reach out for a one-on-one reading. Typically when I jump on these lives, I'm taking $5 questions. So if anyone has a question, what else wants to come out here? What else can I say about the King of Swords? I like to do some tarot math here with the 4 swords in the upright and the King of Swords in the upright. This could be it could be interpreted as cutthroat energy or winning at all cost energy, again at the surface level. So be sure to kind of differentiate between the egoic mind, because sometimes if you're understanding the king status from the ego self, then it's going to be a misinterpretation. You're going to fall into the kind of ego trap of that your person is special or different or significant, which again, from the place in which we're speaking, that has no value here. That only has value in the egoic earthly realm. Another way that this could be interpreted is 2 of Swords in reverse, as well as a neutral position sword. 2 of Swords in reverse is coming out of a crossroads decision. So if somebody resonates with that energy, we could be speaking to that as well. Coming out of something is also echoed with the Devil card in reverse. This is coming out of toxicity, low vibration. You could have the sense of that you are kind of spiraling into a higher timeline, meaning you're outgrowing certain practices or lifestyles that you've outgrown, and that only in hindsight you're now realizing kind of was keeping you at a certain level. Again, this is to circle back and talk about making room, letting go of that which is kind of just there, dead, stagnant. Clearing house essentially is what this spread is speaking to, so as to allow room for more. so as to continuously, refine and refine, and to get closer to your path, which again is a beautiful expression of what it is to be on this human journey, on this journey of personhood, I should say. Spirit, anything else? Spirit, anything else? Just a little note on the Devil card. It was only empowered because the path ahead was kept in the dark. Whatever you were giving your energy or your light to, became that which kept you in the dark, or your sense of self in the dark. Okay. When they say, what's the saying? Somebody lights up a room. It's because they're aware enough. They have a certain level of awareness, and or they're kind of freshly in tune and in sync with that inner light, that inner spark that we're all born with, essentially. But again, human conditioning as we grow older tends to want to try to corrupt and pervert that in us. But again, grace would have it that the spiritual path exists, where you kind of meet essentially that inner light. Let's see, anything else that wants to come out here. You're reintroduced, I should say. Hey, what's up, Casey? Let's see what else wants to come out here. Ace of Wands in reverse. This may not be a good time to start something new. Aces are about new beginnings. This could also be asking you what really kind of lights your fire, what really inspires you, what really motivates you. You're going to want to kind of hold close to this like a moth to the flame. Yeah, it's so interesting and cool that we were talking about this, because again, this torch imagery here being held downward, more torch imagery in the reversal. This is an internalization. So we're talking about that inner glow, that inner light that again we're moving out of, but previously we were kind of beholden to. We were existing in this darkness. You see all this darkness in the background. Again, the torch being faced downward is the path ahead not being illuminated. You're being kept in the dark by your own sense of self, your own egoic mind conditioned to give its power away, its life and light source away to this low vibrational toxic attachment. But you're coming out of it. And it was all an inside job. Again, you're able to kind of light the path because you're finding that inner glow. Okay, the wands are a fire energy, and in the reverse, this is an inner glow, so as to be able to light that path. Okay. Again, not unlike the Knight of Wands in reverse. This is about being able to kind of self-start that fire, for lack of a better word, that engine. It's like an internal combustible engine that we're speaking to with the Knight of Wands, running on that kind of self-motivation. Typically, that kind of self-motivation or that inner glow comes from being able to change your state of being able to know that life can be happy and exciting and something to really get riled up for. And it's a personal momentum. Notice like the stagnancy here. This imagery depicts, these people can't go far. They can't run around like this stallion here. And that means that their inner momentum, their personal momentum, has been limited, quite literally, spatially, to the length of the chains. So they say what you own owns you. Again, what this person is holding on to is limiting them. So very awesome that we're able to kind of work this out using the tarot right here, and that it's actually making sense. It's almost as if, kind of getting to some form of minimalism and understanding that as long as you have that inner glow and that inner expression based on your level of knowing and understanding who you are, then your external circumstances really don't matter. Bob Proctor speaks to that that understanding that you take somebody who, let's say they have a lot of resources or a lot of wealth, and you take it away from them, they're going to be able to kind of, achieve that same, level, because their consciousness has already tuned into that frequency and that understanding from the quantum field itself. And therefore, everything in this dynamic reality becomes something that exists in pure potentiality that you're merely either attuned to or not. Which is, it's fascinating because it empowers you. It really, truly empowers you to tune into abundance consciousness at any moment. Let's see what else wants to come out here. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles in reverse. This could be coming out of a previously established institution, a legacy, something long withstanding. It does point to the Nine of Pentacles in the upright. This could be re-emerging into the status of singlehood, singledom, being a single person out on the market. Could be professionally, could be personally. Again, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse pointing to the Nine of Pentacles in the upright. This is, the Nine of Pentacles represents financial freedom and abundance, self-reliance. Okay, it's self-generated. It's not something that is just inherited here. Ten of Pentacles speaks to legacy and inheritance as well. So again, we're talking about being able to create your something from nothing. Okay. Carly, I believe, mentioned being born with everything we need, and that's exactly what we're talking about. That inner glow, that inner kind of combustible engine, as it were. Let's see what else wants to come out here. Let's see. Eight of Cups in the upright. This is moving towards your higher happiness, sometimes expressed as a physical movement, an actual leaving of a physical structure. But, there is that level of understanding that happiness is within. Again, it's a channel, it's a frequency to tune into. It's not something that you have to go to India for, or, anywhere else in the world. Where you go is where you end up, and you're going to end up bringing yourself there, so you might as well find that happiness within you. That's how I look at this card now. But still, there are moments and times where you have to, remove yourself from an environment, and that's what the Eight of Cups speaks to as well. Eights are about new beginnings, abundance. Cups are about emotionality. Let's see, anything else for Spirit? Three Cups in reverse. This could be leaving a third-party dynamic or a dynamic of celebration, partying, something of that nature. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else, Spirit? Let's see. Justice card in the upright. Yes, I would agree to that. Chasing happiness is only temporary. However, chasing growth brings forth happiness as well. Yeah, I would agree to that. And then there's also like this understanding of Carly. I kind of dove deeply into Muji on YouTube, and I highly recommend his teachings as well. He kind of speaks about how even you can get caught up in that kind of incessant wanting to grow and develop. That comes as well from our sense of self, our sense of personhood, and the ego. We mentioned earlier, like having to put the pieces away, having to put the game away. At the end of life or at the end of the day, we go back into that subtle, potential that, some know as source, some know as the absolute. And so it's something to be mindful, as well, because I think as, it's a functionality of culture to start that path of growth and development and self-help, to start it from the starting point of thinking that you need to be fulfilled or completed, or as opposed to starting it from this place of completion, and simply kind of just rejoicing and embracing the phenomenal human experience. This is something very subtle that we don't teach or talk about or speak to in that kind of journey of refining the human condition or the sense of personhood. Justice in the upright speaks to heart and mind coherence. That's how I read it. Granted, this, again, all cards are up for a surface level interpretation as well as a more esoteric interpretation. The sword is truth, clarity, victory. The Libra scales are obviously balanced, but I like to ask, what's being balanced on the scale? I always say it's the heart and the mind. Check out Joe Dispenza as well. He speaks to heart-mind coherence. Literally, it's a frequency. I think it's 1 hertz frequency, a channel of communication between your heart space and your mind. They're in coherence. So, the mind is not just running the show, and the heart is not just running the show. There's a balance between them, and in that balance, you're able to create that which you're supposed to be, or I should say express, because again, swords are thought, logic, reason, communication, that which you are supposed to be kind of expressing in this lifetime, a la the King of Swords in the upright as well. If you believe a sense of, purpose or some semblance of duty or that which is meant to be done in this lifetime. Again, we're talking about various levels and channels here. We're all over the board. Let me get one more and then we could start to wrap things up. Again, I'm probably going to start to jump on the live more and more frequently and make $5 questions a thing. So if you guys want a direct or personal question, $5. We could do it on here or in private. As always, the offer stands if you guys want a one-on-one reading or just chat spiritual advice without the tarot. I'm available to that as well. I'm available for that as well. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light. Highest possible messages at this time. Let's see. Okay, Six of Pentacles in the upright wanted to come out here. This is an interesting card. It's kind of enigmatic, a la the astrological sign that it represents. What's up, Jenny? Six of Pentacles in the upright. Taurus here. Taurus is kind of hard to read at times if you know a Taurus in your life. Six of Pentacles can be read or understood as this figure here in the middle being the Emperor, doling out morsels. We just had the Justice card in the upright here, which is the weighing of the heart and the mind. This is a more material physicality understanding of these Libra scales. He's kind of doling out morsels here. Sixes are about that balance and harmony. The Pentacles are resources, finances, material items. Again, this is the Emperor energy, so he could be assisting others philanthropically, giving of himself. This could also, that's the positive interpretation of this card. This could also be read as breadcrumbing. Somebody's breadcrumbing you and really not there to see you change or transmute or transform. So there's a couple of different interpretations as to this energy as well. We could speak to the fact that if we want to understand these figures as those being on the Five of Pentacles, that poverty mentality, that poverty consciousness, them maybe not trusting in their own path, or them not maybe trusting in their own, or not having that level of self-understanding of their own ability to kind of self-generate abundance. There's many ways to interpret this. Let's clarify and see if there's anything in particular that wants to be said with the Six of Pentacles in the upright. I could offset it with the 10 in the reverse, and we're left with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, which again, full circle. We started with the Four of Pentacles in the upright. So now it's wanting to be expressed through these two cards offsetting each other, the 10 and the 6, as the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So this could be letting go of that which is kind of keeping your ships from coming in. Four of Pentacles in reverse famously points to the Three of Pentacles in the upright. This is about applying skill and craftsmanship over a long period of time. It's Mars and Capricorn energy. So something that you're really making a concerted effort to work with or on, full time. Let's see, what else? It also reminds me of the fact that you have to kind of spend money to make money, or you have to, use and employ resources so as to, generate or build. All right, anything else, Spirit? Let's see, what's up, Drowsy? Again, guys, taking $5 questions if you're interested. Check out the website, Running Gun Tarot, for a personal reading, or just DM me. Check out the YouTube and TikTok. Seven of Pentacles in the upright, Virgo energy, something growing in slowly but surely, steadily. The 7 is your spiritual path number. Yeah, to me, this is just a reaffirmation of keep on keep on hammering away, because there's something that's being employed in regards to skill and craftsmanship that you've been working on, and you will see things come in the latest by Virgo season. Okay. So that's what I have for now. At the end of the day, this is just a wink and a nod to keep on going and keep on doing your thing, especially if you do feel like you're putting in a lot of resources, craftsmanship, and skilled labor into that which you do. It will pay dividends in the very least by Virgo season, which we enter after August 22nd and stay until September 21st, I think. So that's what I have here, guys. Like I said, check out all the social media presence and content, Running Gun Tarot on YouTube and across all social media. Holler at your boy for one-on-one, and I'm going to try to do these lives more often. Carly, thank you for your presence. Thank you for rocking with me on this live, and hit me up as well. And yeah, appreciate you guys. Love and light to you. Peace.